Check out this clip from the Pre-Patch Podcast.
The XDefiant closed beta, but first time that it can be streamed. And actually kind of really talked about came out. This is footage, by the way, from IGN of what we're seeing.
Is this like new footage?
This is closed beta first impressions. So this was done.
Did they put the Plague Doctor boys back in the game?
This is 10 hours ago.
Wild.
So, I don't know if they're
Okay.
pulling. They may be pulling footage from.
Yeah,
multiple
that might have been
betas,
old
but-
footage because I thought they got rid of that faction for the Far Cry faction.
So the three factions I saw that were playable, because I have played the game. Well, I've played. I'm gonna be honest. Like I've only played a couple rounds. Like because I have some. I'm not gonna shit on it, but I have some feedback. Is the they had the Fire Boys. They had the third echelon
Cloaks.
and then they had a healer person which looked like they
The
were
Libertad. That's
Yes.
the Far Cry faction.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
also have the
Dead Sec-
Phantoms.
Cloaks, yeah, the Phantoms.
Oh no,
So-
Phantoms are like the wolves from the
Oh,
Division, where they
Yeah.
have like the heavy armors. They have the holographic shields.
oh,
that
gotcha. Who's
kind
the
of
ones
thing.
that goes invisible? Was it the
That's the-
Echelon?
That's
That's the
Echelon.
Echelon,
Yeah, that's the Splinter Cell group.
Yeah, okay, that was it.
And then they
So-
also have the Dead Sec, which is Watchdogs, where they can hack devices and gadgets and stuff.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Right. In the 5 games that I tried to play, right? And again, I've not spent hours on this. When I watched it being played, I watched, right now you can get drops on Twitch for watch. If you watch 30 minutes of it, you can get access into the closed beta.
Right.
Watching it, I was like, dude, this looks fucking amazing. Like I was really excited to jump in here, right? I got in, I played it, and I want to go on record, and I want this to be known. And if I ever change my direction, I swear to God, I will take a picture saying that Enigma is right about every and anything that he ever wants to say, and for all discussions going forward, and I will post it on Twitter. I fucking hate HDR. It is the biggest piece of shit,
Oh, is
fucking
this where this came
buzzword
from?
bullshit that I've ever seen. And whoever thought that it was a good idea to implement it into any kind of software, gaming, whatever, is the worst human being up there of the person that invented human trafficking. Just
So what
saying.
is it forced in this?
Yeah. So, okay. I have HDR turned off on every possible thing that you
Yeah.
can fucking do, right? On my PC, on hardware level, on my monitor, I have it turned off there. I load this game up. It literally it boots into HDR mode, somehow overrides my fucking monitor to where my monitor goes from my preset to the HDR preset. Then, and I can't change it. I go into my HDR settings on my monitor. It will not let me change out of HDR mode. I then go into the game. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just a setting inside the game. I go into it, and lo and behold, HDR is turned off, and it's locked. I can't hit it to turn it on and then turn it off. So like, there's no way for me to disable HDR. I went into the fucking settings inside of NVIDIA to see if I could turn it off there. Doesn't exist. So like, I don't know how people are playing this on a console or on a PC and getting around HDR if you have an HDR monitor.
I sent you a fix on how to do it. You have to enable DirectX 12.
I did enable DirectX 12 and it didn't do it, but I'll try it again. But that is
Yeah, try it again. Look through this feed. It's a known issue, and Ubisoft is aware of it. They will be fixing it in the next beta.
You know how you
patch.
fix it? Take it the fuck out. Don't have HDR. It's like motion blur. It's the fucking, I'm not kidding you when I'm telling you this is the worst. Like, it's so fucking stupid.
You see, I don't think it's as bad as motion blur. Motion blur, I don't think there is any viable reason to ever have it, even for immersion aspect.
Especially shooters.
HDR, I don't think it should be in competitive games because that, like, the dynamic range, while it is nice for like single player and for immersion based, like I love HDR with Resident Evil 4 Remake. I would never want it in a shooter though because it's too much.
I have yet
so
to
is this
find
where
a game.
your gripes come from? Sid?
No,
Is this like
no,
what
that's just one of that's just like
okay.
the it was unplay. I mean, for me, it is unplayable because it makes it so fucking dark, and I can't like.
And you
where-
can't turn your monitor brightness enough
I
to
can't do
compensate
shit.
for
I
it.
can't do anything. Like I literally can't do anything to make it better. So it's
This is one of those suffering from success moments where his hardware and monitor is too good and the game's nerfing him because of it.
like so that's a problem. The other issue that I have with the game is that what you see here, it did not feel like it didn't I don't know, it didn't feel like this. Like I watched like Scumpy and a bunch of people playing it, and I'm like, why
It
is
looks
this
snappy.
why does this right? But when you play it's I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's a bad. I don't know if it's just PC. Right. This may be another situation where the PC port is fucked.
Or maybe it's your widescreen.
I think it's your widescreen,
It might
honestly.
be your widescreen, bro.
So okay, I knew that you guys were going to
Because
say that. Hold on, I downloaded it on my son's rig, who doesn't have a
Okay.
widescreen.
And it felt the same way?
Same exact way. Did not have any
Okay.
difference. The
It
way
might,
that
it might just not be for you then.
I mean, yeah,
Because I've been in the XDefiant beta all the way through since they first did it. I've been one of the closed beta testers where they had everything locked down. You couldn't have an open window and play the game, or you could get risk
Yeah,
getting
I
all
played
that
it
stuff.
back then.
Back then, game ran like dog shit.
Yep, it did.
Cool concept, dog shit.
That's
The
why
most
I didn't
recent,
get into it.
I played the 2 most recent patches before this beta came out. I haven't played on this patch yet, and the game felt significantly better. Like legitimately felt really good. Aside from there being a ton of cheaters in it.
were you PC?
PC, yep.
Okay.
Like I said, I have not played this patch yet. I also know that this is the highest volume of players that the game has had, so that might have something to do with it. I will. We can touch base on this again next week once I get some hands-on time with it.
I might even get some hands-on time. I got invited.
I'm gonna do
I'll shoot you an invite, Scruff.
I got one already.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do the HDR fix because I want to give because I couldn't. I
do
just
the
could not
HDR fix
and try it. Because I do like from a perspective of what the game is. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me very much of like COD. And Gaming Medic in chat had said this. Like it looks like COD. It reminds me of
Yeah,
COD before
older COD,
like old school, like
Black
Black
Ops
Ops. I would say
3,
4.
2.
I would say 4. Like that's what it feels like.
I didn't
It's-
play. Okay, I didn't play 4. played
because
3.
of like the abilities and stuff like that. I do think that there is there's still some balancing issues that are a
Oh,
problem.
are the healers still busted as hell?
Oh, absolutely. You'll get into a
Okay.
fight where literally and it's a quick fix for the healers to fix them because the problem with
No, it
is right
isn't.
now.
This has been a problem that the community has been pointing out for the past 6 months, and they have removed the healers from the game before on certain patch cycles because they wanted to test something else, and the healers were throwing off the balance of the game too much.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying okay. I'm just saying there's an easy, logical fix for it. Whether they choose to implement it or not, that's on them.
Remove them from the game.
No, so the problem right now is that as soon as they pop their ability, they are instantly like healed. There is no like ramp up delay. It is going from literally you could go from 2 health to 200 health, and you could dump an entire mag into somebody, and then they're instantly back to full health. So it
needs to be like a soldier drop from Soldier 76 from Overwatch or something, like a progressive heal or something like that.
Right. So you don't have that. This is like a 1 to 100 and real quick. So
this is also the second iteration of healer that they've had in the game, because the original iteration of healer was the plague mask dudes, and their version of a heal was they had a hive, a nano insect hive. They would throw out, and it would damage enemies that were in the circle of it, and it would heal over time people that were standing in it. So
Yes.
not only was it like a small confined area of healing, but
which they
it
still
was
have
also a
that.
heal over time. Yeah, they still have that.
They still
but
have
it's
like the
around the
an area.
person, so it moves.
Well, no, they have a throwable heal. So
Do they have a
throw
throwable heal?
Yeah, they throw out this ring that is a healer. It's like the hive.
Nobody uses that one though. I'm pretty sure everybody just uses the AOE around.
Well, I
that
think that
travels
I
with you.
think the AOE around you is the ultimate though. So like your throwable is again. I'll have to because I only played the healer again. I only played 5 games, and I played the healer like for 1 round, but it was my E ability that you're seeing on screen here was my heal. My ultimate was my heal around me, and my grenade was an ability that I could throw out to heal out like a grenade.
So what they have is, if I'm looking at their stats now for this current patch. So if you're playing as the Libertad, which is the healers, they have a passive that makes it so that if you're standing near a Libertad or you're playing as a Libertad, you begin your regeneration quicker than if you were just another faction. So they start regening quicker as their passive. They also have a boost, which gives an additional 20 health points and brings your health total up to 120. That's their regular ability, and that is around the player. They also have the other ability, which is the heal canister, which is the heal over time that stays placed and it can be destroyed. And then their ultimate is a 200 health boost.
Okay.
Around the player.
So
they
that
have
sounds like you've been experienced in the ultimate.
They have effectively two abilities that do the same thing, one just at a higher effect than the other. And I've yet to see anybody run the canisters in like the last few patch cycles, because the boost is just too good.
Yeah, it's there's balancing issues, like for sure. Like they're
the gunplay looks like it's improved.
The gunplay feels really good in my opinion.
It looks better.
It's snappier. There's not as much bullshit with like, because I remember back whenever it first was releasing in beta, there was a lot of bunny hopping. There's a lot of like movement exploits that people were doing that made it so that their head would like vibrate and you just couldn't get headshots on anybody.
Well, so what I'm seeing now is a lot like, or what I experienced was a lot of like register, and this could be just because it's the servers can't handle it, but there was a lot of
reg is garbage.
Hit reg, like I was getting hit around a wall like crazy.
That is my biggest complaint with anything that I've played with this game, is they have yet it's only gotten worse, honestly, the hit reg in the most recent patches. The gunplay has gotten smoother, but the hit reg has gotten worse. Like a solid like second or two behind cover, and then you'll fall over dead because the hit reg is bad.
And couple that with like the TTK is pretty quick. Like it's not Call of Duty quick, but it's well, actually I don't know. I would probably
it's pretty well Call of Duty quick.
It's not Warzone quick. Let's just say that it's not Warzone quick.
It's not Siege quick.
Yeah,
but it is like if you're getting hit, you have like maybe a second to get into cover and get out, barring you don't get.
But then hit reg screws you.
You know,
and also barring you're not a healer that has a get out of jail free button.
The other thing that I'm not seeing on here, and I really wish that they would have shown IGN, maybe do a little bit better job on this one, is they're not showing anybody jumping over fucking cover, but it does this annoying thing. And I don't know, Bill, if you had this happen before, where you
mantle every single thing,
and it's like not even a smooth mantle. It's a mantle where like you get up, stop for a second, and then hop and then go forward. It's like
the mantling's clunky. I will vouch for that as well.
It's the same thing. I hate that. I hate the mantling in a lot of games.
And that's as easy as turning auto mantle off.
Yeah,
most games have that option. I'm hoping they add one to this. One thing I'm also hoping they add to this is it was supposed to be, or at least how I had seen it and what I thought was going to happen, where the factions actually counter each other. So like your DedSec hackers are supposed to directly counter the Phantoms so that they can actually take over their shields and their turrets and stuff like that. The cleaners were supposed to counter the healers because they have damage over time abilities outside of the healers' heal over time, or they're supposed to reduce healing in that aspect.
Sounds like they still have to balance a lot of stuff before they get to.
They have a lot of balancing, and I think they've done away with the hard counter philosophy of the game, so that it's not going to be like Overwatch where you're switching out characters for counters. And
because I just hear
it would honestly play a lot like Overwatch in that aspect, where you're like, okay, do I want to switch out for a counter, or do I want and burn my like ult charge, or do I want to wait for my ult to go off and then swap out?
Right.
Well, I think that's a detriment to them leaving that mentality, because honestly, I question like, who is this for, right? Like because it doesn't do anything for, again, the little bit that I've played and the stuff that we've talked about, right? Like they have a lot that they need to fix. There's a lot of glaring issues with, hit reg and all this stuff that we talked about. So like, it's not like, who is this? Is this combating Overwatch? Is this combating shooter? Like who is this for? Right? Like, where does it fit?
I think that's a question I've always had for this game. I've never quite known that.
Like,
Yeah,
is it
the
supposed to just
audience
be
they're
like
trying to hit's a weird one for
Yeah.
sure.
Because
It
I
is
feel like
free to
it's-
play
It's a
though,
mix.
so
Like
Yeah,
it's
it's-
definitely a mix between a few.
But like, but Ubisoft in my mind is known for their shooters of wanting to do more competitive. Like they want a competitive element, right? Which I mean, they only Rainbow Six is their only, right? I'm not crazy.
it's their only competitive shooter out right now. Yes.
So
This will be their second one, and I know they were wanting this to be like heavily old school arena shooter style. Was what they have always hyped this game up to be.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess I worry too because like I don't have faith in Ubisoft to, if it doesn't take off like what they expect it to do,
They'll kill it off just like they did that BR.
right. Like I don't
Hyperscape, yeah.
I don't think that let's just say this. I would be very cautious to put any money into this game. It's a free to play game. Play it free to play. I would not put until it's got some longevity behind it. Like
I would hate to see this game get
We also
killed
don't
off that
know what
fast
the
after all this time.
the pay
monetization.
model looks like, how
Yeah,
they're going to do battle passes
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely battle passes, definitely microtransactions, skins,
Yeah,
etc.
they'll do skins.
They'll do all of that.
And it
For
does
sure.
have the Call of Duty where you have to use the weapons to unlock attachments for the weapons and stuff like that. So
Is that new? That sounds like a new. I don't.
yeah,
think I
it is
remember
new.
that.
It's fully kitted, very similar to Call of Duty, and it's actually a pretty robust kitting system.
So anyway, so that's the XDefiant. You can get, like I said, you can get into the beta. You can register for the beta right now or watch 30 minutes of your your streamer that you want or that they have going on for. There's a whole list of them that you can go and take a look at. And you also get like unlocks for like, it's only like 30 minutes, and then you get unlocks for like guns, and you get unlocks for skins for guns and stuff. So
Thank you for checking out the patch notes. If you enjoyed this small selection from our podcast, come and join us every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the full unfiltered pre-patch podcast. And check out our past shows on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast.